had a a narrative or a scenario that kind of opened my eyes, that I kind of came to my attention, that I have this scenario, or I have this dialogue in my head that nobody ever listens to me until I'm screaming. And then when I'm screaming, they always make me feel bad about it. Like, you don't have to scream. There's no need for this. And then it compounds. It's even more frustrating because I feel like they drove me to the point of ignoring me and acting like I don't exist. And then when my only other option to be acknowledged is by acting out or by screaming, or not literally screaming, but I always say, like, nobody ever listens to me until I'm screaming. And then they make me feel bad about screaming, like I'm in the wrong. And I just kind of thought about it today. Like, I have that scenario in my head. It comes up so often. And it kind of made me sit back today and think, maybe I'm not portraying how I'm feeling as good as I think I am. Or maybe I take into assumption that people can read my mind, or people know my nonverbal cues, or nonchalant verbal cues, or just nonverbal cues. People can, like, read my mind, that if there's a situation that is constant, or a repeating situation that really bothers me, maybe I'm not doing as good a job as I thought I was of relaying these needs and these thoughts. And then when those needs and thoughts aren't being met, then I lash out. So I kind of thought today, maybe that's on me. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not doing as good a job as communicating as I thought I was. Maybe I'm not doing a good a job at setting boundaries as I thought I was. I guess in the terms of setting boundaries, I've never been good at setting boundaries, because I never want to make somebody else feel uncomfortable. In the act of setting up a boundary with somebody or a situation it's a confrontation, because you're stopping somebody and you're saying, no, this is how I want it to be, and this is how it's going to be moving forward. For example, earlier this week, I had kind of a meltdown at work. Earlier this week, I left my old job because the unorganization and the disregard for having a process, having a system, having standards, and by standards I mean like standard operating procedures. It got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I need structure, I need rules, I need standard operating procedures. This is the way something has to go. This spot is for this. This is what we do in this situation. I need all that stuff. And the new job I got, I don't know if I was just fooling myself thinking that it was better or different, but it's in reality, it's probably twice as bad as the job I left, as far as organization, standard operating procedure. Like, it's a bigger clusterfuck full of more people who don't care. The attitude of the majority of people that I'm around is, that's not my job, that's not my responsibility. Well, they don't help me, so why should I help them? So everybody's kind of sits in their corner with their arms crossed, saying, well, they don't help me, so I'm not gonna help them. And in the meantime, we just wallow in this huge clusterfuck of pallets in the way. Like, you literally can't do anything in the warehouse. You literally have to move shit and create a path to do anything. And it's not because we have a lack of space. It's not because we have a lack of people. It's because this person doesn't think they should have to do it, and then that person doesn't think they should have to do it, and it just sits there undone and just compounds and piles up, and everybody's completely fine with it, and it just drives me crazy. So that, on top of a lot of the tools I have to do my job, are not equipped to do the job I'm expected to do. My transportation methods, the things I transport things on, are not adequate for the tasks that are being asked of me. And a lot of the times, some of them don't even fucking work. Like, I have carts that are supposed to haul hundreds of pounds of stuff and the wheels don't even move, and I have to push the cart without wheels moving with hundreds of pounds of shit on it. And it's been brought up that, you know, these carts aren't any good. I'm realizing now, maybe I wasn't specifically saying these carts don't work, but it has been brought up that, you know, plenty of times that this is not an efficient way of doing it. But I suppose I never specifically said I can't do my job because these carts suck. Because in my mind, it's like, the wheels don't fucking turn. Why should I have to tell you that I can't push hundreds of pounds worth of stuff on wheels that don't turn? But apparently I have to be that specific. But anyway, I came back from one of my runs and I brought back one of those carts that the wheels don't fucking turn, and, you know, open the doors, and I can't even walk from the receiving bay to the aisles because there's so much shit in the way that nobody's doing anything about. And I have this cart that I literally have to drag off the truck, drag down the aisles because the wheels don't fucking work. And I just lost my shit, and I literally threw it across the receiving towards the wall. And it looks like I threw it into the wall, but I did it because the wheels don't fucking turn, so it came to a stop pretty fast. But it was this big cart that was like 200, 300 pounds. And in hindsight, it was probably really fucking stupid, because after the adrenaline wore off, I was like, that was dumb. I really could have fucking hurt myself. I really could have re-hurt my back again, because I am not capable, or have I practiced an all-out exertion like that under, you know, emotional arousal. But on the other hand, it's kind of cool to see that, you know, I'm getting better. You know, I'm not as broken as I thought I was. I'm stronger than I thought I was. You know, I can resist torque. You know, I can do physical things now. I can be strong again without being hurt. So that was kind of a cool thing. But my boss happened to see it, and he got upset. He's like, you can't be doing that with company property. And I explained to him about how this company property doesn't work, and I'm sick of using tools that aren't equipped for the job that I'm expected to do. And he just would not get off the fact that you can't do that to company property. And then he left, and for probably the next hour, I was so angry. I was holding back tears. Like, I was so angry. I just wanted to cry. And people kept coming up to me, you know, like if you have a dog, or I don't think cats do, but like if you have a dog and you have like an episode in front of your dog, or like a little kid, and they come around the corner and look at you like with their tail between their legs, like they're scared to be around you. Like, for the rest of the day, people did that to me. Like, people were like coming up to me, you know, asking me for help, or asking me if I needed help with doing things that I did not need help with. But everybody was just tiptoeing around me. And every time someone came and talked to me, I would just want to cry again and scream. And I know people saw tears in my eyes. I know people saw me fighting back, crying, and people would ask me questions about the job. And I was, you know, borderline crying, talking to them. And they could see it. And, you know, for the rest of the week, people were being overly nice to me, like tiptoeing around, like asking me if I needed help doing shit that I did not need help doing. And that was kind of frustrating. For people to kind of tiptoe around me like that, because it's kind of insulting, I think, when people think I'm so weak that I need help doing stuff. And on the other hand, I also felt really bad because it seemed like some people were generally scared to be around me, like I might have another outburst, or I was like mentally unstable. And that was kind of frustrating. But it's weird. It's like that happened on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I was a little bit better. Thursday was a little bit better, and then like today, I'm so fucking good. You know, any inconveniences that popped up today, or everything fell off my back. Everything fell off my shoulders. Like, even really frustrating stuff where somebody like fucked up at work and I had to make up for their stupidity, or I had to do something that was really inconvenient. Like, nothing. Like, I had no care in the world. I was able to let shit roll off. Like, and I don't know if they're related or if I just needed that release, but I should probably also make a note of it, that I do have these like violent outbursts, these emotional, like angry, violent outbursts, but it's never like, it's never towards a person. Like it's always at inanimate objects. Like I always want to throw tables or chairs or throw something through a wall, but I've never had the desire ever to do that to a person or a living thing. It's just I have these outbursts of anger, and it's always against something inanimate. So if you're listening and think I might be mentally unstable and in danger, like, no, I just want to do something inanimate, and it just gets my energy out. But long story short, if you're still listening, I kind of, today when I'm calm, I'm kind of realizing that maybe I wasn't specific, you know, because the whole time I was thinking like, motherfuckers don't listen to me until I'm screaming, and then when I'm screaming, they're acting like what I did was unnecessary, and they try to make me feel bad for it. Like, you don't have to fucking scream, dude. Like, what's wrong with you? You just like, and that's always the frustrating part. But hindsight, maybe I need to look in and say, maybe I'm not doing a good job of relaying to people if I'm having problems with stuff, or maybe I'm not doing a job of setting up boundaries, and it's not anybody's fault but mine for that reaction. Which I believe in that, because I'm really bothered when people are volunteer victims, whether it's voluntary or involuntary. There's people who willingly volunteer to be victims, and there's people who are involuntary to do it because they just don't realize that their actions are what's making them the victim. I was making myself a victim to a situation because I was not relaying my issues. I was not putting up boundaries. So yeah, I just wanted to say that quick. Because I would believe so wholeheartedly that something wasn't my fault, and just so wholeheartedly believe that, how come nobody listens to me till I'm screaming, and then when I scream they act like I'm overreacting. And now I guess I don't necessarily see it like that anymore. I guess maybe I need to do a better job of communicating and figuring out boundaries. And if I hurt someone's feelings, I hurt someone's feelings, but at least I put up those boundaries and stopped another potential outburst like that. Because I almost quit that day too. Very close to quitting multiple times that day. So I hope you have a good weekend. That was my Friday. Well, that was my Tuesday actually, but it's Friday now. Get to train. Kathy's out of town. Me and Freya are gonna hang out. She got a piano recital, all sorts of cool stuff. So yeah, have a good weekend.